right, let's get this going. My man, buenas tardes, buenos dias, bro.
Yo, what's good, bro? How's everything, man? Everything good with you?
Good, good. When I had set this up with you, I was in the East Coast. I'm actually in the West Coast. So
Ooh.
no, tranquilo. That's why when you call, it's perfect because I got a lot of stuff to do today, man. But listen, thank you for getting on the show, como, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, for giving me a chance to share my platform with everybody, man, using your platform. So I
That
definitely appreciate that.
that's what we're here to do is to highlight these dope stories. I believe that there's going to be new faces. There has to be new faces if we want change, if we want impact, and we want movement. And that's no disrespect to the current, pero el futuro debe ser nuevo, and it's a whole new culture, and we're going to get into it. So start off by telling us a little about yourself.
I'm a father of two. I'm from the Bronx. I'm born and raised. I went to college in North Carolina, played baseball over there. Then I moved back. I'm a teacher now. I was teaching in New York. Then the budget cuts, they let me go. I moved to Maryland, the DC area, and I found a job out there. I've been teaching out here ever since. I'm an athletic administrator, so I teach PE, I teach graphic design. So in my class, I try to motivate, well, I don't try, I motivate students, you know what I'm saying, to open up their minds because I feel like kids are, as we get older, we get put in a box, So if I could get them at a young age to not be put in a box and to think out the box and stay creative, that I think that they will go the right directions, once
Let me tell you something. What you just said right there is more important. It's just as important, and I'm going to bet personally more important than college, because the reality is los Latinos in the Black community is a low percentage that they're going to go to college. So what they consume at your level, what grade do you teach?
teach high school. So I,
Exactly.
I, I try to get them right before they go to college, you know what I'm saying? So, and then being, Latino, you know what I'm saying? Being Afro Latino, they
What
can
are
see,
you?
I'm Puerto Rican. So
Okay.
I'm Afro Latino. So, being that I'm old, so I'm 38, I'm about to be 39. But I look super young.
You can't say you're old. I'm 45. I'm super young. I look
Yeah,
young
so
too.
we look young. So we not separated from the culture. So being that I look young, I'm in tune with everything that I feel like that I can relate to them. So being that I can relate to them, they look up to me, be like, you know what, I can see myself being, what I'm saying, Mr. Camacho. He came from the Bronx, he came from the hood. I'm from the hood too. You know what I'm saying? He guided himself in the right direction. He could have steered himself left or he could have steered himself right. So what are the steps that he took? Because we came around from the same hood, different eras, but we all came from the same. We come from the hood. Like what steps did he take to motivate himself to go the right direction? So I'm right there trying to help my students or helping my students, choose the right path. So the things that I teach, so I teach PE. So you think you might come into a regular gym class where you bounce the ball or whatever? No, I teach the aspects of, all right. Let's say you're not an athletic person. All right, so we gotta learn the business part of it because there's a career path in that. So if I'm teaching basketball, you gotta learn how to do the book. You gotta learn how to take the score. You gotta learn how to be a referee. You gotta learn all the ins and outs so you can learn. You know what? I can't play basketball, but there's longevity in being a statistician. You know what I'm saying? So open up career paths in that.
Hey, listen, not only that, but general manager, front office,
Exactly.
right? So I'm with you on the sports thing. I'm telling you, you and I have more similarities than people think in differences, right? But let's talk before you got into what made you be a teacher?
Um, so being that you're around two people, you're around two groups of people the most in your life. You're around your parents at home and you're around your teachers most of your life growing up, right? So those are the
Of
two different.
authority, two people of
Yeah,
authority, right? Because
yeah,
friends look good or bad.
yeah. So the people that you look up to, not look up to, but the people that are guiding you or giving you information or teaching you, those are the two groups of people you see most of your life. So I feel like, all right, you get guidance at home, but when you go to school, that if you have teachers that care, that guidance also helps. That guidance also helps. So I'm in a fraternity, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, incorporated. So we do we like we read to students, while we was in college. We were doing mentoring, we were doing tutoring. So seeing that the brightness of a child opening up their eyes, you be like, oh my God, this young person is coming in here helping me. This young person is taking time out. Like I was like, you know what? I want to do this forever. I want to guide kids in the right directions. I want to make sure that I impact other students because I had teachers that impacted me as well with my family.
It
But
made a difference.
they made a difference. So the teachers that, you had teachers that didn't care. You don't remember them. But those teachers that cared, those teachers that stood out, that tapped in with you at different levels. Those are the teachers that you remember for the rest of your life. I bet that you can name at least 10 teachers that you probably had that have been amazing throughout your life when you was young, and you can still remember them.
I can name 10, and I will remember the two or three that were very negative that could have stirred me another way if I wasn't
And they
confident.
wanted you to go that way. They were trying to push you that way. But
Yeah.
I'm not that person. We don't talk about negativity in my class. And I also teach graphic design. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So where that, so the things that I'm teaching my students now, it's like, yo, you don't have to. Not saying that you don't have to go to college, but these are careers that you can start right now, and you could go to college and get, the paperwork and
Because
the fine tuning for that, and then move forward. But you can start now. Don't wait to to college or to after college. You know what I'm saying? Start getting money now. Start generating money now. If you're good at something, start doing it now. So just
okay,
open kids' career path in business and designing and all those in all those different aspects.
listen, the reality is that anybody, not just Latinos in the Black community or the Asian community, because I'm half Chino, half Nicaraguense, right? So I'm Chino Latino. But the reality is because of economics or a time in your life, there's a high probability that someone's not going to go to college. So what you're doing is giving them the skill sets to still further forward
Mm.
instead of waiting to say, I'm pressured to go to college or I won't be anything. You're saying, hey, graphic design. You're saying, hey, listen, cooking. You're saying, hey, learn every aspect, even if you're not a basketball player. What you're really doing, Chef, is what I like is you're instilling confidence. That
Mm.
is what a child needs in the beginning, that confidence and the conscience. And the more people they see like you, the more people they see like Jay-Z, the more people they see like Obama, the more people they see like Sonia Sotomayor, it lets them know that that's an option that they can be rather than go the other route, because we know they can go wrong real quick, especially in the social media, teen parenting, younger parents. It's just society, bro. So I'm with you on that. I love that. And I asked you why you got into teaching, because you're young, you're hip, and there's something to be said about young and hip saying, I want to go back and serve. And that's what you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
talk to us a little bit about the graphic design and your apparel.
All right. So graphic design, I started designing back in 2004. So I'm basically always a behind the scenes person. So I was always doing things for people, like, started designing flyers, started designing t-shirts for people. I was doing that for a bunch of years. And when I started teaching in DC, me and this amazing woman that I know, she was like, "Yo, let's start, something called the Beard and the Fro, or whatever." So, I designed something, we put it on Instagram, and had crazy likes and everything like that. But we had named it Beard Gang. But the guy, we didn't know that Beard Gang was, we were just somebody, just two creatives. Like, yo, this is the idea. I designed it. We threw it up there. We didn't do no research or anything like that. We put it up there, named it Beard Gang. There's a guy actually owns Beard Gang. So he went up there. He said, "Oh, nice concept." He's like, "Nice shirt. Concept already taken. I wouldn't move forward because then all the legal stuff was gonna happen. Whatever, whatever."
Yeah.
So she was like, "Yo, you know what? I want to split. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, let's not do this." She went her other route. Like, if she has amazing following. She has like almost like 300,000 followers right now. But she was like, "I'm gonna split. I'm gonna do my own thing." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave you with that. So like, so I have a dope design. Um, it wasn't Bearded Kings at the moment. I had a dope design, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I wanted to make sure that what I put out there also teaches people. Like, we come from kings and queens. We don't come from the history that they teach us, like we come from slaves. No, we don't come from slaves. We come from kings and queens, and then everything became after that. So I want to make sure that people know that that we are kings and queens. So
No, I love that.
how do I put that in apparel? How do I put that for people to start, wearing it and start embracing that their inner royalty, and then being a teacher, you hear your students, the culture today is like, yo, you my N and you my B, right? So it's like, all right, the actual N word is Nagus, right? Which means actually king, you know what I'm saying? So it means, king of kings, Nagus Nagas. So they changed that word and they made it into something derogatory, and the history of that word.
Yeah.
So um, I'm like, all right, how can we go about changing things? All right. So instead of saying, yo, you're my N or that's my B, you're like, all right, yo king or yo queen. So how do I embrace that? So anybody from royalty, anybody from history, Jesus had a beard, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
anybody that comes from power has a beard, like wizards have beards. And so when you think of that, it's like, all right, I'm embracing my inner royalty. So it's like, all right, cool. So now I have this stuff for the ladies, for the queens, you know, embracing their natural hair and embracing their beauty. You know, we don't have to have the European standard look
How
and
many
everything.
ladies do you know that got beards?
No, no. Just
I'm
natural
messing.
hair.
I'm
No,
messing.
no. So listen, but there's ladies that definitely there's
What?
tons of ladies that love beards though. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
no, they do. That's my lacking. That's where my Chinese side fucks me up. I can't grow it. But let me tell you this, Chef. I like what you're doing because you created a fashion around positivity, around the mindset, right? You weren't just putting on like, again, no knockout to designers, but you're not putting something on trendy for a season. You can actually change people's minds by something that they wear from you. Just like me, like you got your brand. Mine, I use bendecido. That's something my grandma, mi abuelita, mi papatang, my mother and father used to say, bendiciones, bendiciones. Well, I'm like, why does it just have to be a word growing up? It could be a mindset that you're blessed every day. And just like you, I had in the beginning someone that tried to, cease and desist because it looked like blessed, and I'm like, you can't trademark a word. This is a mindset, and so I'm gonna send you some of my gear, bro.
That's
So
what's up, man.
so you did that. How long have you had the clothing company?
So I had the clothing since 2013. So we are the name is you know, it's with the patent office and everything. So I own the rights to the name, is trademarked and everything.
What
So
do
I've
you
had
have? You got shirts, you got hoodies. What kind of products you have?
I have shirts, I have hoodies, I have hats, I have a little bit of everything. I have stuff for kids. So changing the mindset, right? So I have it for adults, and I have young kings, young queens, young
Yeah.
muse. So it's and the dope thing is by like seeing the kids put on these shirts, and they, and when they come to like I have well, I don't have pop-up shops, so I participate in pop-up shops out here in DC. So having young kids come in there, buying the shirt, then coming next week and wearing it, and it's like, showing like, yo, I'm a king. That's amazing, because having that mindset growing up from that young, like, I'm a king, I'm a queen, and thinking of that.
Yeah,
That's
you had it. No, 100%. I didn't. Sorry to cut you off. You love the impact it makes. Give me your first aha moment that your label, your brand was doing good,
um
and I'll tell you mine.
the aha moment when the brand was doing good. I'm gonna have two. So it's just like the aha moments when the brand is doing good is when you're seeing like everybody just showing you love, you know what I'm saying, and sharing your posts and everything. Like, that's the like, people really mess with me because they're sharing it. A lot of people might not buy it. Not saying that they might not buy it, but you might not have the chance to buy it right now. But you sharing my stuff, that's like, yeah, like, that's good. You know what I
I
mean?
like that. I like
The
that.
the like the damn like there's been a couple, man. There's been a couple. Like, there's been times that in 2 days we made $10,000. Just having, just
Yeah.
doing, putting
I
something
I
on
like
Instagram.
that. You're right, because when I had survived cancer and I remade a Hector Lavoe song, El Todopoderoso, and we had sold, I don't know, 14,000 copies in the Cuchifrito circuit back in the days before Napster, right? I redid that song with my band. I had a band back then. And it wasn't so many albums that we sold. It wasn't that I was a non-traditional salsero killing in the salsa game. It's the fact that one time I was walking down El Barrio and I heard it playing through the speakers, and two or three homeless people were singing along to the song that I produced. And it hit
That's
me because not everyone can go to church. And I remember when people asked me about my musical success, I said, no, walking down El Barrio and seeing three homeless people sing along, El Todopoderoso, it was so awesome because that means that I have faith. But one time I was in Times Square, and I'm from the Bay, but I go to New York a lot, so we're gonna connect in DC where you're at. But
okay.
I'm sitting out at having a martini at Times Square Cipriani's with my business partner, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, wait. I have a shirt that says "I can become lo que yo deseo," right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, whoa, someone's wearing that. So I run over there, right? And the girl's like, whoa. I go, I'm sorry, that's a badass shirt. Where'd you get it? And she goes, Tito's Mundo. And then she's like, oh my God, that's you. And that's like the aha moment.
That's fire.
And I wanted to go beyond it because a lot of people say they have their apparel, and shout out to them. But I want to talk to you because one, you said one aha was you're rocking in money. But more importantly, or just as importantly, if people haven't bought your product, the fact that they share it, that means that your mindset, your positivity is touching them within. You know what I'm saying? So I
Absolutely.
like that. You're teaching, you transition into clothing. Let's talk about when the development of passion for food.
Man, a development passion for food. So I started cooking. Shout out to my mom and my grandmother, and you know what I'm saying, my parents, my everybody in my family cooks. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't cook professionally. Well, at the time they didn't cook professionally, but everybody cooks. So you walk into the house, it's always smelling good. My grandfather, he had a video store called Camacho's Video in the Bronx, right there on Prospect Ave. So I spent a lot of time in the video
How
store.
long ago was that?
Ooh, he had the video store since I was like from 5 all the way until I went to college, man. So it was right underneath 161st Street, Prospect Avenue, right underneath the train station.
Mm-hmm.
So it was in a whole bunch of movies. It was in what's the name of that movie? Anyway, so uh just watching my grandmother cook, coming into the video store, and in the back of the video store she was always cooking. Like her favorite thing to make was like these beans. So I would go in there while they in the front and it's cooking in the back, and I go in there, I just be like just drinking the beans out the pot while it's cooking, and I'm like, yo, I need a this is bomb. So and then going to my other grandmother's house, and you know the food that she makes was bomb too. um Going to college, I ain't know how to cook. So it was 5 of us going to school in Baltimore to go play baseball, and we all from the Bronx. So is me, 2 other Puerto Ricans, and 2 Dominicans, and nobody knows how to make anything but like spam and stuff like that. My mom makes a bomb corned beef. So we all on the phone calling our grandmothers, our mothers, and we in the kitchen trying to figure out how to make rice. So we over there, first time trying to make rice, burned it. So just living out our own and trying to learn how to cook, that's what created the passion, because now we started depending on each other. Like, all right, who's making dinner tonight? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, and we started being our constructive, you know what I'm saying, we being our own critics. So that wasn't like, all right, I'm gonna start to be, I'm gonna start going ahead and becoming a chef, or start doing this, like professional or anything like that. um so it was just like of survival, and then going to college, and then learning how to, ladies love when you know how to cook and all of that. So that's always a good thing, because
It's a
ladies like,
bonus.
oh, when you go cook for me, when you go cook for me. But now that I'm taking it like a little, like way more serious, it just happened. My cousin, Trill Cooker Jose, the Jesus Chef Jose. That's my cousin. So that's my brother. We live together and all of that. So watching him and watching my brother-in-law Scott, it was like, all right,
You
they
guys are
took it to
family.
another
It
level.
it makes sense. You guys are family. I got I just got some of Scott's sauce.
Oh
Came,
yeah, that
it
is
came in
joint
last
is
night.
bomb.
Yeah.
It came up, yeah, joint is bomb. So like, you know, I call him Pito. So Pito went to culinary school. I went to school to go play baseball and stuff. So he graduated from culinary school, and then my sister met Scott, and then Scott went to culinary school, and then I was again a behind the scenes person, because now I have my clothing line popping, and now they both popping. Like they in competitions and culinary fight night, and they over there busting ass, and every chef that they put up against them, they over there doing their thing. Um, and I'm over here. I'm doing the clothing thing. So we have a pop-up shop, and we right next to each other. So like everybody, it was a marketing idea. So like everybody wants food, so everybody's got to come to the food table. So when you come to the food table, you got to look to the right, and then boom, I'm right there, and I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna get you to buy something. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
So it was like a bang bang thing.
Food and
So
fashion. Food and fashion is the shit. Look, if I
yeah,
got la música, that's why I love music. Mm-hmm.
so yeah, absolutely. So like tasting that food, I'm like, yo, like I be cooking, but y'all cook. So y'all need to start teaching me. So every now and then, they'll teach me a little here and there, but I'm always with the camera and recording and and taking the pictures and everything like that.
But we're
So
gonna get in. We're gonna also get into that because man, what you're doing on your reels and it's crazy new direction in food, man. That shit is dope. I thought I was dope, and then I saw you guys shit. I was like, okay, all right, we got to do something, right? So
definitely appreciate it. So like just being behind the scenes, a lot taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I was behind the scenes for graphic design. It taught me, about the business side of it and how to start, working with other people's, companies. And I could do mine. So behind the scenes, working with Pito and with Scott, going to their events, shooting their events, tasting their food, being there, like behind the scenes, recording their joint, and then the cooking, like, so I never went to culinary school, so all of
Me
this is just
neither.
self-taught. So this got serious in the beginning of COVID. So like me and P was talking on the phone. COVID hit. This is March, and I'm like, yo, P. The first thing everybody did when we was before we went to the lockdown was they went to the supermarket and ran them supermarkets dry. So everybody has tons of food in their house, nowhere to go. A lot of people not only know how to make basic stuff, but they bought a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? How can we help those people create dishes in their home? You know what I'm saying? How can we do that? How can we help them? So I'm like, yo, P, what you need to do is let's put out a list, you know what I'm saying? Collect some data, what you got in your refrigerator, and then we'll see. And then you go live with somebody and you could cook with them live and show them how to cook it. And he was like, he's busy because he's J-Lo chef. So he's doing a lot of stuff. And he was like, I bet.
You talking about Jose?
Yeah, Jose, Trill
Yeah.
Cooker. Yeah. So he was like, I bet, whatever, whatever. So like 2 weeks passed, you know what I'm saying? He's busy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna recreate a dish that he put on his live, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do it as um somebody just following him. How can I recreate this dish? So I was
Yeah.
like, yo, Pete, I went on live and I was like, yo, I'm gonna recreate my cousin's dish, Trill Cooker, whatever, whatever. And I'm doing it. So then he was like, yo, I'm gonna tap in. So he tapped in. So he's like, I forgot where he was at. He was at the airport or something like that. And I'm cooking, and he's over there walking me through it and stuff. And
Yeah.
he's reading the comments, and we just having a good time back and forth. And he's like, yo, do this, do that. And I'm like, I bet, whatever, whatever. And then that led to like, yo, everybody's like, yo, when is part two to that? When is the next one? So I was
Yeah.
like, yo, P, all right, instead of you going live with somebody else and cooking, go live with me. You recreated the fancy way, and I recreated the way somebody recreated in their own
At
home.
home.
You know what I'm saying? So and then I started coming up with different ideas and different flavors, and like my creative juices started flowing. And he was like, yo, like, I bet. So we had season 1, season 2. Now we're about to do season 3. And
That's actually how I found you. That's how I found you, right?
oh,
Because me and your cousin connect, and I like what you were doing with the Bearded Kings, the culture. I call it culture. Con la música y
oh
cocinando,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fashion.
Nah, culture.
And,
It's
then-
fashion,
and
it's culture.
yeah, and then empanadas. So what made you say, all right, empanadas is the product I'm gonna push?
That was one of the first thing we actually made at the crib too when we was in school. So it was like, all right, um, we made that because like, and I was telling P and I was telling Scott the other day, and people on my live playing. I played baseball. We was in the park all our lives, in the baseball park all our lives, and we spent every single day in the base at the
Mhm.
fields. And you always had the lady pull up with the shopping cart and the red cooler or the blue cooler, and inside them coolers was mad empanadas, yo.
It
And
makes
it was
sense
like,
because it's easy to eat.
yeah. So like we in the baseball field, she pull up to the side, and we like, yo, let me get like 10 empanadas, and we over there crushing. So it was just like, it brings back those memories, like, having those memories of just that. So being able to share that with people and being able to that was something I was making it before, and I was just like, yo, everybody would hit me up like, yo, your empanadas are good, like make some for me or whatever. And I was just doing them just to do them because that's what I like to do. So um
When did you
I
launch the company?
I just last week I was just like it was last week. So my
I
goal
love
was
that, bro. I love that.
my goal was to sell 100 empanadas. My first one, I sold 60.
Mhm.
Today I was gonna cook all of them and then meet people at the parking lot, be like, yo, I'm gonna be out here for this hour or whatever, and then pull up. You know what I'm saying? I have
No,
4.
that's badass. But listen, that's how my boy Roy Choi got the whole food truck industry in LA, was by Twitter at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
now with this COVID, and you just launched it last week, man. Everything I could do to help you, and we'll talk offline too. We'll
Yeah.
do it. I love the fact that people should watch this interview and say, listen, 2020 some fucked up shit, but a lot of greater things can
Uh,
happen if you are navigating through the chaos. So what kind? Oh, this is badass. I love it. The empanadas. How many do you have?
right now today
Flavors.
I'm oh
Flavors.
well,
In
also
general.
flavors. I have a ton of flavors in my head. So right, so what I'm doing is I'm doing 4 different flavors every week. So this week I had the pizza one. So I had pepperonis, I had fresh mozzarella, I had some basil, and I had some homemade pizza sauce. Then I had the pernil one. I mean the Cuban, the Cubano that had the pernil, the
I
ham.
seen that one. I seen that one.
And
And you
then I
know
had
what? I know. I watched the live where your cousin's like, "What's the sauce?" It's good if you have it, but if you make a good cubano, you don't really need it because the cheese, the pickle, and the
oh
protein,
yeah,
and because you don't want to soggy down the empanada. Like, no,
absolutely.
I'm a fanatic of empanadas, fried or baked, Argentinian or California or East Coast version. So I love that shit. Where do you want to take this in 2 years?
So 2 years, like by the end of the year, so people have to be okay with change of career. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know, like and that's the thing. People are afraid. 2021, I'm not moving in fear. You know what I'm saying? So if wherever it takes me is gonna take me. I wrote down a food truck. You know what I'm saying? This year. You know what I'm saying? Not even in 2 years. This year. That's one of my goals. So hopefully it takes me to one of those.
So hold on. So you came back. You're from the teaching industry, and
Yeah.
now you're open to, if in 2 years you do this, you see yourself in the food and apparel
So
game.
so quiet as kept, like again, behind the scenes, I've always for the past since I moved to Maryland or since I was young, I always wanted to have like a catering business where I was just running in the catering hall where people will come in because in New York they have these big ass catering halls and it'd be like 15 rooms in there and they will have sweet 16s, weddings, whatever, and you pay like $15,000 to $20,000 each room. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be the person to run all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I was like, with that being said, when I moved to Maryland, I was like, yo, there's a lack of something out here. As soon as I moved out here, I told my cousin and I told Scott, I said, yo, let's open up a restaurant out here. Let me run it. I just want to run it because y'all come out here, y'all do 6 months, y'all train the staff, y'all do everything, y'all run it. This is what I would like for it to be, and then y'all go back to New York, and then y'all come back every month, and we just what I'm saying, I break out off with the bread or whatever. So I've been wanting to be in the food industry, but I wanted to be on the back end. I wanted to be the
Yeah.
person
No.
managing and
Listen,
running that.
100%, 100%. I used to want to be the star on this pop up concept. I'll show it to you, the trailer. I ended up being on the back end because producing, I could create more talent, I could show more talent like you guys, and I could do cameos. And you don't have to be the chef. Like I'd rather be like Chris Rock said it best, man. You want to be Shaq? No, he wants to be the guy who writes Shaq's check, right? And you could always go in there. So I like this. And you said something, the fear, you can't have the fear of change. My cousin, because I have Chinese, I'm Nicaraguan, so the Chinese side probably has a little bit more success financially, right? En la familia, entonces él me dice, yo, I appreciate you as a businessman because I went to school for something, but what college doesn't teach you. When I say school, he went to like, Stanford. She went to Berkeley, and they both said they don't teach you change, the ability to change,
Mhm.
because responsibilities in life, that's just not in a book.
Yeah,
So here they are, 15 years in a career, and now they're like, I don't know if I want to do this the rest of my life. But the fear of change, college didn't prep them. Now you can't depend on college for everything, but I like what you just said, and I like how you've devoted your career in one thing, but now you're passionate because tomorrow's never promised, right?
absolutely.
So you have the ability to build your brand, and in your brand, you can have empanadas, you can have concept consulting, you can have the food truck, and you're going to find investors that are going to believe in your brand because there's more people with money than there are ideas.
Mhm.
So I love what you're talking about. Let's talk about some fun shit. You ready for some fun stuff?
Mhm. Hold on,
What
let me
is?
introduce you to my business partner real quick. For my
Yeah.
Bearded Kings business partner, this is Billy. Having an interview real quick. This is my business partner, Billy Grubbs. He's the behind the scenes.
Good to meet you,
You
my
know what
man.
I'm saying? Always. I'm the creative, and he's you know what I'm saying?
You have to have it. You have to
what
have
I'm saying?
it.
I'm the yin, he the yang. You know what I'm saying? You got
You
the
have
other
to have
yin
it.
and
Yeah. You have to have it. Listen, let's talk about some fun shit. This is a segment called hashtag Que Te Molesta. What's your pet peeve in the industry?
my pet peeve in the industry, what in the food industry,
Anything
or
that
any
stands out that
industry.
annoys you. Anything that stands out that annoys you. Like if someone wears like an Adidas jacket with Nike shoes.
Oh,
That shit.
that right there, that's definitely pet peeve. I'm Nike down to the socks, you know what I'm saying? But you can't be cross branding.
Etiquette, baby. Etiquette. It's like
Now,
ashy elbows.
what really annoys me though, and I don't think and it's not. Let me, what I'm gonna say it.
Be
Um,
real. Be real, man.
people that always send DMs of like shit that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not good information, but it'd be like some like bullshit. That's cool. I'm cool with that. But also forward my stuff out to people as well. So the same way you forwarding other people's shit out, forward my shit out to other people as well. You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, I
Yeah.
just sent stuff out to this. You know, that's a thing. Cause I get DMs of crazy forwards and all of that stuff. And I'm like, yo, are y'all pumping my shit out like that too? Because I don't, half the stuff I don't really be caring about. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
No,
But
I'm with you. I'm
if
with you.
and and that's the thing. Like, if you can't buy empanadas, you can't buy any, the clothing or whatever, that's cool. Just forward it out there because somebody else can do that. And social media is free. Social media, it don't cost you to just share anything. You know what I'm saying?
No,
That definitely
not
helps.
not at all.
And,
If
I'm the biggest hype man. So if you have a product or if you're promoting something or you need help with something, I'm sharing it. I'm using my platform. I don't care. You don't got.
look what we're doing right now, right?
Yeah,
Because if you're gonna make an impact in a movement, it's more than one person, right?
absolutely.
That's the bottom line. I like that. That's your pet peeve in the business. What about pet peeves que te molesta in society?
In society,
Go
um,
as deep as you want, because the next question is gonna be even deeper.
oh man, what bothers me in society? Oh, like racism, the stuff that's going on with racism and everything.
Hey, whatever you want. I'm not gonna steer you
Nah,
anyway.
nah, nah, nah. Like that, that definitely bothers me. But
Tell me why it bothers you.
why it bothers me is because a lot of people don't understand, why we feel the way. All right, so that the whole shit at the Capitol, that shit bothers the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I have students, and I'm not from DC, but being in DC now, having students from DC, I've had students that participated in the protests before, where people, the police officers, that is tanks outside, it's all of that shit outside. You know what I'm saying? For a peaceful protest, and then it doesn't become peaceful because the cops make it. You know what I'm saying? The cops start doing their fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? But then you have a group of people that that is gonna go terrorize the city. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna go wild out. They didn't have that. They didn't have that. So like
Yeah.
the shit that bothers me is that
It could have been
where's
preventable.
my students' mindsets at? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, how does that affect them? Being that, like, yo, I'm going out here for my rights, for my life, and these people going out here because a motherfucker ain't get the votes or whatever, and I'm gonna go terrorize the shit, and I could walk in and out, and nothing will happen to them and not get shot. But if I go over here and I stand over for what I believe because motherfuckers is killing us, I might get shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that's what bothers me, is because now that's later down the line, that's like PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Some people have that shit now for all of the, all the stuff. So that right there, that's what bothers me, is that also I just saw that the Khalif Browder, you know what I'm saying? The Khalif Browder, they had a comparison of the girl that lost the laptop. Like, I that was my student. I taught at New Day Academy at Khalif, you know what I'm saying? I knew him.
Yeah.
So knowing him and the shit that he went through and going to Rikers and all the crazy shit that happened to him taking his life for being falsely accused of a fucking book bag. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then this girl take a fucking laptop,
Pelosi's laptop. That's
you know what I'm saying,
crazy.
and sell it
And
to the
and try
Russians, and she
and try
gets home and she goes
and try
home.
and
Put
trying to
that
sell
bitch
it
to
to Russia.
Rikers.
And
Put
trying
it
to sell it to Russia.
Put her in Rikers. Put her in Rikers. Give her that same treatment. You know what I'm saying? And
But
have her wait 3 years for a court date. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's just the injustice. That shit bothers, because it's like, all right, I know people that shit is affected. This shit is affecting a lot. And I, my kids, I have a daughter and I have a son, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want them to fucking have this mindset like, yo, I can't be what I want to be. I can't do what I want to do because somebody, you know what I'm saying, somebody might feel some type of way,
yeah.
you know?
Well, okay. So one, that's I. You see how this conversation is going everywhere, which is super dope, right? But I'll tell you this: the injustices that you're talking about, the future looks bright, because reality is that less of that will be tolerated now with social media.
Oh, absolutely.
You're a teacher, you're an entrepreneur, you're a businessman, you're a cook, but look at what we're talking about. We're talking about society and justice, and that. So that's a good thing that is headed that way, right?
Absolutely.
The next question is, did you vote in this past election? That's a no-brainer, but yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely voted, man. And I actually, did I FaceTime my students when I was walking in the line? I think no, yes, I did. So in the morning time, I went to New York because I had to go to New York to vote. So we're teaching virtually. So I was on FaceTime. Well, I was on Zoom with my class and saying, like, listen, it's important Like y'all see me in line to vote. So everything that I do, I try to show my students, you know what I'm saying, to show like, yo, you know what, like I'm doing it too. I'm not just talking about it.
You lead
I'm
by
I'm,
example.
I'm
You
being
lead by
I'm being
example.
about it.
The reason I ask every guest that is because you know me, I interview athletes, chefs, the future winemakers, and I always ask them the same question. I don't care who you voted for, as long as you vote. Because Latinos se quejan, hey, the politicians don't do nothing. They'll do something for us when they see that we vote, you know, because
Mhm.
I want people to say, hey, we're business minded, we're cultural, we got tradition, we're assimilated, and we also vote. Because the power of vote, what the Black community did and showed at this election, it should be inspiring to more Latinos to say, we can do that too.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's, Kamala became the first, VP that's a woman and Black and Asian. I want Latinos to say, who's the next Latino VP? And it's because your children and my children can say, I can aspire to be that
Absolutely.
rather than go to the streets, right? Okay, so next question. Bro, this conversation is dope. Next question. The world is ending. Your last meal on earth, what would it be?
Oh, it'll be my mother's corned beef, yo.
Mm,
My mom makes a bomb ass corned beef.
okay, good, good, good. Okay, three people that you would love to have dinner with one night, dead or alive.
Dead or alive. Wow. Three people I would love to have dinner with. This it's not listen, this it's a lot. I would love to have dinner with everybody, man.
You only get three people to kick it with, bro.
I only got three people. That's that's hard because I can't leave out my kids and I got two. So
No,
that
no, no,
means
no, 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 no.
just
Take that,
three,
take the
three, it's
immediate
just
out. Yeah,
three
you don't want to
people.
be a deadbeat father, nothing like that. No,
Oh,
just
man.
the mind of you, Camacho.
Oh, let me see. I would have to say I would like to have food. I would like to go eat with Biggie, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, good, good. Biggie,
With
Biggie's one.
Biggie. You know what? I'm gonna go with Biggie, Pun, and then I'm gonna go with because Pun, Pun they look like they could eat. So I would definitely like to just eat with them and stuff. Um and then I'm gonna do let me see. I'm gonna do Roberto Clemente, man. Talk about some baseball back in the day, man. And see
Man,
how that was.
bro, you know what? I'll hit you up offline, but I did some badass shit. You know, Clemente, obviously you know Clemente's a legend. You know where he was going when he died?
It's going to Nicaragua, right?
There you go, man. There you go. So to us in Nicaragua, he's equally a legend the way he is to Puerto Ricans.
Oh, that's
And,
what's
and
up.
I and I grew up on. I'm a diehard Giants fan. I love hoops, but Clemente, that is people need to put more stuff of Clemente like they do of Hector Lavoe.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
need to make that movie. They need to make the Roberto Clemente movie, yo. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be
bro.
fire.
I might have to give you some royalties if I get some folks to produce that. 'Cause that's badass, bro.
That's fire, man. We need to have, you know what I'm saying? We have 42. We need to have 21. You know what I'm saying? That would be
21.
both of those. The 42 was amazing. You know what I'm saying? If we have 21, 21.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
call
the
it
name of the
21,
movie right there, 21. That doc. I got it. I got it. Well, listen, bro.
21.
Exactly. Listen, Chef. Thank you for your time, bro. It's been a
Love,
blast. This is the first of a couple interviews I want to do with you post pandemic, post
yeah.
stuff in society, because the more we do these things, the louder the voice gets. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Definitely, I definitely appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate it. I just want you to continue to create, man. You're doing an amazing thing too. I saw your page and I saw I see when the world opens up. I see how you have your graphics and your clarity of your videos is fire, man. So definitely, man.
Oh, you know what, man? Fuck, I forgot to even talk to you about that.
Oh,
Um, you are not a traditional chef, and neither am I.
mhm.
The videos that you do, and I was talking to Scott the other day, but now it makes sense because you guys are partners like that.
Uh-huh.
How important and what feedback are you getting when you're doing empanadas? You're a bearded chef. You got the plains hat, right? And you're putting hip hop, and you got beanies. Listen, man, 15 years ago, they would look at us and say, get the fuck out of the business because we don't have the top chef hats and all this kind of shit, right?
Yeah,
Tell me about that. I want to finish this conversation with that because that's important because it's going to empower other people and it's really writing our own narrative. You
absolutely.
see my page, hip hop, hablando mierda, but always being positive. The food's got to be on point. but I'm not your traditional person either. So talk to me about why you said, if I'm gonna do an empanada video, I'm gonna put hip hop, and I'm gonna look the way
Um,
that I look.
yeah. So like I'm not trying to disrespect any, saying professional chefs that went to school, any of that stuff like that. So if that's how you dress to, when you cook and everything, like that's what's up. But me, I just want to be comfortable, and I just want you to feel like you in the kitchen. So when you watching me, I want you to be able to be like, you know what, I can do these things too. You know what I'm saying? I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to be like, all right, I can relate to this person. He in the kitchen, he's doing him. He's not acting different. All right, he's cooking now. He's not changing up. He's not switching up. Like he's not being something that he's not. So he's still P, you know what I'm saying? He's still PJ, but now he's just chefing it up. So like, I have a creative mind, so it could take me multiple places. With the filming and stuff, I study a lot of people's, Instagrams, and I, collect a lot of data, and I've been on Instagram since like since day one, for real, for real. Um,
I got into it late, but like you're taking in, and like I said, I do good stuff. Thank you, but your stuff, man, I'm like, okay, that's the future right there.
yeah,
That is the future, right? There's more people that watch the videos that you're doing that I want to do, that have the ability to buy the empanadas and the food, than going to the higher end restaurants that are closed anyways, right? So that's the opportunity of the changing of the guard, the Pornhub, the social media, and the culture.
mhm.
But yeah, I didn't want to, selfishly, I didn't want to end this episode without talking to you about that, because I'm a student of the game and I'm learning what you're doing. That shit is
Oh, yeah.
bad.
No, yeah, man. I'm the amazing thing is that I'm a student as well, and the thing is, we always got to continue to learn. You know what I'm saying? We can't if we update our phones
Hmm.
every time there's an update, we need to update our systems too. So, our Instagram shouldn't look the same from 6 months ago. So we got to start
Yeah.
doing check-ins, and if you want to be able to promote your stuff on social media, you got to actually study this joint. When are your followers active? Are they more active in the morning, or are they
Yeah.
active at night? What days are you getting the most likes? You know what I'm saying? Like, just utilizing all of that stuff, what I'm saying, for yourself to promote your stuff even more. You know what I
Well,
mean?
what you do, and again, I don't want to take off too long because I want to do segment interviews with you. What
All
you're
right.
doing is you're showing who you are, and people are buying into you, right? There are 1,000 empanada companies out there, but they're going to buy because of you. Listen, Nike doesn't make the best shoe, but they have the best athletes. People are going to buy
Facts.
LeBron. People are going to buy LeBron shoes because of what he stands for, less of the graphics of the shoe, right? So what you're doing, it connects, right? And so keep it up, man. Keep it up. You're onto something huge,
Thank
my
you.
brother. All right.
Thank you. And I want to shout out I want to shout out to the 10 customers that, actually copped some empanadas and took, what I'm saying, it was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy these joints, and cause that's another, what I'm saying, wow for me. When actually you get your first sales, because those are the people like, you know what, I'm gonna take the chance, and I'm gonna buy into what product he has.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I always appreciate that. And I was rocking the coquitos too. So I
What's up,
started
man?
that. What I'm saying, I started that during the pandemic as well. But this is all basically an introduction to the bigger things that I got coming in the future, man.
Baby
So
steps, baby. You're a teacher. You know all about that, man.
yeah. So
But
I'm
listen,
playing I'm playing chess, not checkers right here. So
and hey, like Nipsey said, it's a marathon, not a sprint,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely, absolutely,
Chef,
man.
fuerte abrazo, bro.
All right,
Thank you,
thank
my
you.
man.
Next all day.
We're gonna stay in contact, all right?
All right, brother.
And I'm fuck shots, boy. I'm gonna wet y'all running hot,
Hey.
but I'm still coming in.